Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
And welcome. This is your host, B. Alan Bourgeois, and today I have with me Rolie, who has written 3 books, all within a series of a mouse. And the first one's called Mean's Little World. So welcome, Lori. And
hi, Alan.
Let's start with what made you write that first story?
Oh, my dream of always wanting to be a children's author. I just needed to do this in my life. It was a goal that I've had since I read to my own kids, and I am just amazed at where I am today compared to where I was when I said yes to that dream. It's super, super rewarding.
And how is that? I mean, why is that so rewarding? What was the journey?
What's so rewarding is looking at the children's faces as I'm reading to them and having their little faces just looking back at me and smiling and being so engaged in what I'm reading to them and listening to their comments about it and how they love my book. It's their favorite book. Some of them have it, some of them want it, and and they love the mouse. They love finding the mouse, and just watching the excitement and the delight really warms my heart very much. It makes me create even more.
And I can fully understand that whenever someone responds in a positive way, and sometimes even in the negative way of what I've written, it's nice to know they've read it, and it's also good, for feedback and other opportunities. But what was it about this mouse that said, write the story about me?
It was the very first thing that I could draw. And I knew it was special because it was cute. And so I decided to incorporate this book, this logo, as a series of books. And my writings turned into poetry. But I thought, this mouse is so cute, I'm going to hide it one time in each little story and have the child find it. And that's exactly what turns them on. It tickles them, it keeps them engaged. While they're listening, they actually listen to my sweet little stories. I have something to say to them. But this little mouse, after I did it with my first book, I thought, wow, I can do it with number 2 and number 3. And now I've got a whole new level of cuteness coming, and it's pretty special. But this little mouse and I have become real good roommates.
So without giving away too much of the story, tell us a little bit of what the story's about.
It's all poetry, and it's short for ages 2 to maybe 7 or 99. But each story has a different little fable to tell. It teaches you something. For instance, like in my first book, Honeybee teaches the child that don't be afraid, but if a bee stings you, he'll no longer be a honeybee. Well, a lot of kids don't know that. So that's just an example of what I'm talking about. Everything that I write about has quality and innocence and sweetness. And it's not confusing, it's simple, because I write it on their level intentionally. I want to relate to them. I want them to be engaged and not be bored, and just look forward to finding the mouse.
You've read to kids at schools as well as libraries, correct?
I have, many.
So out of that, how did that come about, and what is the best way to read to a child?
like at schools and libraries?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I think my first real big break came from being a vendor at the Texas Book Festival. And as you know, Ellen, it's the largest in Texas. And I've done that every year. And one day, a teacher that owned a preschool at Lupine Lane, she came to my booth, and it stopped her in her tracks, and she really took the time to look through it. And she said, "Oh my gosh, you illustrate, you write this, you do this all by hand." I didn't use a computer at all in my beginning work. And she said, "This is so organic and so precious. Who does this anymore?" And I said, "Yeah, there's a lot of love poured into it." And she said, "I would love for you to come and read to my class." And it was the 2-year-olds and the 3 and 4-year-olds and the 5-year-olds. And she's had me back ever since, every year for her next class. And indeed, she decided to create a program every fall when she starts her classes to have the children write their own books and have me come and read to them when their books are finished. And then they spend time one-on-one with me reading their books to me. And it's such a beautiful relationship between all of us. It's a beautiful exchange of creation from both of us. So because she did that, I have been noticed by other parents and librarians and teachers that have asked me to come and read at elementary schools and libraries. And I'm just thrilled to do it because that's what this is all about for me, for sure.
And I was curious, as far as the children that you started with, they've gone on to their elementary schools and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 things. One, were those the connections that helped make you with the teachers of those schools to be able to come in? And 2, of those first students, have you seen them since then, and are they still doing their own books?
I have no idea. I just know that many have told me, "You've inspired me. I want to be a writer now." And from the creations that they have shown me, I have no doubt that I had some kind of an impact on their creation, or on their creative levels. And so I think I haven't really kept up with the children from the classes, but from the friends and families that bought them from me, they keep buying them. Every time one comes out, they can't wait for the next one. And they're saying, "When's the next one? When's the next one?" It's really special. And then the teachers from the elementary schools, they just are so delighted that I am someone still out there doing this from an organic level. And I'm not just throwing something into a computer and hiring an illustrator to do some fast illustration that disconnects with what I'm saying. You know, it's really beautiful the way it all goes together. Anyway, these teachers they've all said, "We want you to come back," and I have. And the libraries I've had great favorable response from them. Sometimes when the schools ask me to read, if it's a younger group, I will read my stories to them. And if it's an older group, they want me to talk about what it's like to become a self-published author. And that's been very helpful. And I've taken questions and answers from the children. And I think it's been really helpful to them to not be afraid. Everybody, I think, at some point in their life wishes that they could write a story. And anybody can do this. You just have to say yes to it. And it just kind of happens when you make that decision.
We only have a couple minutes left of this segment. I'd like for you to grab one of the books so that we can see a couple of the pages of the drawings.
Okay, sure. This is my original, Beam's Little World. And I would like to explain something. The very first page here, I thought it was appropriate to do this little page, and I just entitled it Mouse. It was the very first thing I ever wrote. And this little poem was something that my father told me that he wrote when he was 5 years old. And he was terrified to finish it in front of a classroom. It was his homework. And so I finished the last line for him, and I thought it was so appropriate to begin my series with my father's story. And then it goes on to Honeybee, which I told you. And these are very rudimentary drawings. I just put crayon to paper and started drawing, and it turned out really cute. And I got better as I went. Everything goes into, it's in order of how I drew it. I didn't decide to put this one, the rainforest, I didn't design the order of them. I put them in my books exactly the way I wrote them, in the same order. So therefore, you can see how my drawings they start getting better and better and better. And it also, in the beginning, I really was not schooled. And so I have this 2D perception in my drawing. And as I go, I start seeing, okay, oh, wow, I'm opening up. So this whole book is basically 2D. But once I started taking art lessons after this book into my second book.
Hi, Brakefield and Berkey here, award-winning authors for the Techno Thrillers books, the Enigma book series. Technology, today's weapon of choice, the cyber good guys versus the cyber bad guys.
We invite you to join our website, theenigmaseries.com, where you will get sample chapters, sample audibles, book trailers, and you can sign up for our mailing list. The books are available in ebook, paperback, and Audible. Thank you.
Tom Gromes, father of market intelligence, writing business books that are a game changer. International author of nonfiction, has written the first and only books on the collapse of Russia and the first and only book on market intelligence. Check them out at mkintel.org. That's mkintel.org, mkintel.org. Hi, this is Alan at Ask Alan Anything, a podcast designed to help you learn about publishing and marketing your books. So join us live on Facebook at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The page is Indie Beacon Radio. Ask any questions about publishing and marketing your book. We're here to help you, and we've been doing it for a long time. So I hope to see you then. Thanks.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
And welcome back. This is your host, Beyond Bourgeois. We are talking with award-winning author Rolie, who's talking about her books, Beam's Little World, volumes 1, 2, and 3. In the previous segment, we were talking about the drawings, and she's going to show us some drawings from the book 2, and then also book 3 to show her progression as an artist. And please, let's see what you got.
Yes, by all means. So this is 2 and 3. So 2, I started taking art lessons, and I started understanding that deep inside, we all are artists. You just have to let it out, and you have to go through some exercises to discover that you too can draw. all of you can draw. And so I started drawing these little pictures, and now I'm okay. So I'm getting a little better going on. This is a very sweet book. By the way, the mouse runs from story to story in this book, picking it up here. So like, check this out. See, I'm starting to get some depth perception in my drawing here.
Now, out of curiosity, when you're reading these stories to the children, are you also talking about the artist aspect and how you are improving to help them understand?
Yes, I am. And they're just enthralled with it. They're like, oh, I really like that. I really like the lamb. I really like those hearts. Oh, that's so cute. I drew my dogs here. I couldn't do that in my first book, and it just inspired me. The more that I imagined, the better I got. This is really my hubby and my son, long time ago. This is about a donkey. Anyway, I'm getting better. See, number 2.
So
But,
what is the short end of the story for volume 2?
I'm sorry, Alan, what'd you say?
What is the story about volume 2 without giving too much away?
This is a compilation of poems as well. So each book, there's about 8 or 9 poems in each book, and they're individual stories. So you can read 2, 3, 4, you can read the whole book, but, and I include bookmarks when you order it, so you can stop at night. You know, it's just little bedtime stories. So really short and sweet. It's almost like a coffee table book that, you know, you would just pick up and read a small chapter, and there you go. But there's really no theme in it except love all the way through it. Love. If you don't feel love, incredible love in your heart after reading any of these, you missed it. And I don't know what else to do, but that's the way I wrote it. That was my intention. I'm here to bring innocence back into this world and make my little stamp on humanity, because I believe that children are forced to grow up too fast. I think that it's important that they be children and that we honor that. And so that really inspires me to keep going and write what I'm writing right now. I'm so excited about it. Okay. Yes.
And number 3
Okay.
just recently came out, correct?
Yes, it did. Okay, so 3, I am really starting to get it here. Thank you, Monica, my art teacher. I love you. And all of my art classes. Oh my gosh. So I'm getting better. Let me find something. Okay, little turtle, here you go. So this is something that I probably could not have drawn at all when I started. Pretty. I mean, I'm understanding shading and depth perception, and so I'm incorporating as an illustrator on top of what I'm writing. I'm just getting better. It's just getting better and better and better. And this is my favorite picture. I did this with watercolor, which I'd never tried before. When I started, it was colored pencils. My medium went to watercolor, and I don't know where that might go in the future, but watercolor is my thing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here I'm going back to pencil, and this is interesting. Right in the middle of my 3rd book, hey, Meme just discovered the digital world. So I never used a computer until I got my new iPad Pro, and now I've gone digital, and I'm showing you what I can do with this, which is a whole new world. Same sweetness in the stories and the reading. This is our old house where our kids grew up, the swimming pool scene, and this is all of their friends and our dogs, and if you're watching, Kelly Fitzpatrick, do you see?
So we only have a couple minutes left of this.
Better. Okay, I could go on and on, but can I just tell you something?
Sure.
I really, my creative level has reached an all-time high. I am now going to go with live action video with my little mouse meme. He's the star of the show. He's a finger puppet. And we are going to do some live action video, which you can see in the background. I have movie sets. And we're going to do some live videos on YouTube. And this is coming very soon. In addition, I am going to write a Memes Little 4 book. So I just, the more I do, the more I come up with. So I've got a little thing going here, don't we? Yeah, in this house of love.
So that brings up a good question, because you have the finger puppet on your finger.
Yeah.
Can people order the puppet?
Yeah, on my website, LorieRolie.com, or my books.
They can create their
anything.
own little videos and stuff as well then.
Yes, they can. And there's Memes Little World just got bigger.
Great.
Yeah.
So you did mention you have book 4 that you're planning on doing. Any time frame when that might be ready?
Not just yet, because I'm concentrating on the live action video.
How many videos do you plan on producing?
Unlimited.
Okay, so it's a long-term project.
It is. It's ongoing. Yeah. I'm
Cool.
so proud. Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to all of you that have bought my books and that are that keep me inspired, and all of you that are 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, my biggest fans. Thank you so much for supporting me, because it keeps me going. And I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful to all of you who are so sweet with your comments to me on Facebook and Instagram. And wow, I mean, I have chills. It means the world to me. Thank you.
From my perspective, you're more than welcome, and I'm sure the others appreciate it as well. So this is a good point for us to go ahead and take a break, and we'll do our last segment in just a moment. National Authors Day is November 2nd, 2019. This annual event is getting a fresh look with a parade that starts at the Texas State Capitol and works its way south down Congress Avenue. Join us as we celebrate the joy of being a published author and the joy of reading. For more information about the parade, merchandise, and other events related to this event, please visit our website at authors.dearindy.org.
What would you do if you found out everyone on the town council were thieves and murderers? That's what happened in Bandera, Texas in 1873. John Cruder was the marshal, yet he needed to operate outside the law in order to balance the scales of justice. He is the Midnight Marauder. You can find his books on Amazon.com and TopWesterns.com in paperback, digital, and audio. I'm Roy Clinton, and I hope you'll read The Midnight Marauder.
Thank you for watching or listening to this show. Indie Lector is proud to sponsor this programming. As a thank you for listening or watching, we would like to give you a 10% coupon code that you can use on our bookstore at indielector.store. Use coupon code video19. Again, that's indielector.store, coupon code video19 for a 10% discount on any purchase. Thank you.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
And welcome back. This is your host, B. Allen Bourgeois. We are talking with Lori Rolie, who has written 3 books, entitled Memes Little World 1, 2, and 3. And she's working on number 4, but she's also working on some videos, as they are called, live action videos with her puppet and the little mouse. For those who are viewing it on our stations, You can see the mouse there on the table waiting to be played with. So, Lori, you had talked about the videos, the live action videos. Any idea how long it takes you to create one video?
Yes, a very long time. It's stop action photography. And so you literally take a picture, move it, take another picture, move it, and there it goes on and on. And we have so much fun doing this. And then it's all in the editing, of course. So it takes a very long time, probably about as much time as it takes to do a book by hand.
And
Long
so
time.
that's a good question. How long did your first book take?
It took a year.
Okay.
And my
And are you
second
averaging-
was about a year and 2 months, maybe. And my third, about that too, because now I had to learn digital. I used a program called Procreate, which a lot of you may be familiar with. It's a wonderful program. And so I had never done that before, so I had to learn it first and then apply it. So, and now I'm in a video world of which I'm learning day by day, but super exciting, whole new world.
Great. And so we just have a couple minutes left of the show. Let people know where they can find you on social media and also your website.
Sure, Lori Rolie. I have 2 Facebook pages, Lori Rolie and Lori Rolie Publishing. And Instagram is at Lori Rolie and Lori Rolie Publishing. And Twitter is at, I think it's at Lori Rolie, isn't it, Ellen? Or is it at Memes Lori? I don't know. You'll find me. It's not hard.
And spell your last name so people know how it
It's
should be.
Rolie, Rolie.
All righty.
Yeah. So LORIROLIE.com. And I want the world to know I am super, super proud of this. So as a member of Texas Authors, I am so proud of that. And I submitted my first book in an award contest. And this was their first year. And I won Children's Best Picture Book, 7 and under, for this book. It is an award winner. I submitted number 2 when it was time, and I won that award for number 2. And I just found out I'm an award winner for my 3rd. So I am so tickled pink, I can't stand it. I'm really, really, really honored. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of love, as you said, went into your books, and I'm sure the people who judged it saw that and felt that way. So
Thank you. Thank you. There's so much more to come. Yeah. I'm on a roll.
And to that aspect, when your videos are ready, you're going to be announcing it on your website and social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to go on YouTube. It's going to be everywhere. So, yeah, I will be real easy to find.
Well,
I
great.
hope you like it.
I'm sure they will. Well,
Yeah.
that's it for the show. I want to thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Ellen. So happy to have had this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website at indiebeacon.com.